Too much exposure to radiation can cause both short-term and long-term health problems. It is crucial to monitor patients, employees, really anyone who is exposed to any amount of radiation. Joining us to share his expertise is Barry Lang, President and General Counsel of Radiation Detection Company, or RDC. Welcome, Barry.
Thank you, Jackie. It's our privilege to be here.
Barry, aside from health-related outcomes, what other growing concerns need to be addressed concerning radiation?
The health concerns are really the concerns of our industry. From the dawn of the industry in the late 40s, the Radiation Detection Company recognized the health risks to employees working around radioactive sources. And so from the very start of this industry, RDC has been involved in the forefront of first of all, worker dose measurement, and in recent years, as people have become more concerned about the health risks of repeated x-rays and CT procedures, patient dose is becoming an increasing concern.
Now, because the threat of occupational radiation is so real, why is it crucial for companies to take proper action and rely on a monitoring service?
The monitoring service that we provide enables employers to say to their employees, you're doing something in a safe or an unsafe fashion. We are able to identify the types of exposures that people receive in the workplace. It enables them to change their behavior to maybe do things in a safer fashion.
Well, now that we've become familiarized with the importance of monitoring radiation, let's see how it works in this 21st Century Business Field Report.
While low levels of radiation exposure is used to benefit patients, exposure at any level in the workplace must be both monitored and measured to satisfy safety requirements and to ensure optimal health.
The threat of radiation exposure is very real in the workplace. The truth of the matter is you can't taste, you can't feel, you can't see radiation exposure. And if you're working with those materials, it truly is all around you and can cause you harm. You need to be badged, you need to know what your exposure levels are in order to keep yourself safe.
Cultured to meet their customers' developing needs for safe, green, and quality service, RDC provides a true solution to monitoring ionization radiation in the workplace.
I often get asked the question, who should be monitored at a facility? And the answer is really twofold. The first and the easiest is anyone working with radioactive materials and or X-ray equipment should obviously be monitored. But secondarily, and just as important, are those people that work at your facility that you might not think about. The person working at your front desk, your receptionist. When you receive an exposure report from us, you can tell what's happening at your facility.
RDC's skilled radiation safety personnel are conveniently on hand to answer questions and to ensure customer well-being for any business with radioactive materials or X-ray machines.
Timeliness of reporting is very, very important. If from the time we receive a customer's badge, weeks or months go by before the reports are produced, then the customer is unable to react and to change any necessary practices. At RDC, it is only a matter of days from the receipt of their badge before we are able to report their dosimetry dose rates to them.
Anything can change at your facility, whether it be an environmental condition or a machine malfunction. When we provide you reports of your exposure activity, you can step into that procedure. You can alter the way that you're conducting the work that you're doing, or possibly adjust your machines so that you limit that exposure.
When radiation in the workplace is a concern, RDC is there to provide efficient badges to monitor that exposure with an elite customer service team that tailors to each client's unique needs. They are the people behind your badge.
So Barry, how does Radiation Detection Company, or RDC, ensure health and safety above and beyond other competitors in the market?
The thing that really sets RDC apart is the customer service. We really pride ourselves on providing human, real live customer service so that when people call our office for administrative functions or for a technical question, they get live people on the other end of the line.
How many years of experience has RDC dedicated to improving health and safety for overexposure to radiation?
RDC was founded in the late 40s and have been continually in business since then. So a little over 60 years, we've been concerned with and providing the monitoring of health care professionals.
So should everyone wear one of these badges? And if they do, what is the value of that badge in terms of behavior?
Everyone that works around radioactive sources, whether it's in the nuclear industry or nuclear medicine, healthcare, anyone that works around an ionizing radiation source, X-ray machine, ought to wear a badge. It enables them to be assured that they have not been exposed to the degree that could cause them health concerns later on. Most healthcare professionals work in an environment where there's someone in charge of the radiation safety process, the radiation safety officer. That's the individual at the facility that's charged with establishing good procedures and then seeing that the employees adhere to those procedures. The information that we provide them enables them to do that.
Now, do you have expert staff on hand to answer questions about your services if they should arise?
We do. We have technical staff that's there all the time that routinely, regularly handles customer client phone calls for information.
Barry, how do your services detect how much radiation workers are exposed to on a daily basis and which levels are a cause for concern?
The badges that we provide to the employer for distribution to their employees are regulated by a division of NIST. There are standards, there are maximum exposure limits that are permissible in the workplace on an annual basis. Our devices measure the potential for exposure during the reporting period. Usually that's on a monthly or quarterly basis. They return the badge to us. We read the dosimeter, the badge, and report very, very quickly onto a secure website for the employer to come and check the exposure or the potential exposure of their employees during the last period.
You know, Barry, I'd also like to note that you are acting as a global citizen as well, aiding in the recent nuclear crisis in Japan. Tell us about that.
From the very start of its existence, RDC has intentionally been a good citizen to our neighbors at home and around the world. Whenever we heard about the situation in Japan, we immediately reached out to nonprofit agencies that we knew would be playing a role in the relief effort and offered our services free of charge to them. So we did that with the American Red Cross. We've done it with an organization called Convoy of Hope, who has relief workers on the ground in Japan, and we'll be providing them free service for a long time.
And Barry, you're not only helping people in Japan, but you're also helping to address the concerns of people right here in the United States.
That's true. The nuclear incident in Japan really acted as a catalyst for the general public, particularly in Hawaii and the west coast of the states, to become concerned about their potential for radiation exposure. So we are providing dosimetry services through major electronic retailers to the general public. This is the first time that's ever been done in our industry.
Wow. And so how will that work? They will send you the dosimeter and you'll read it, or?
Yes. One of the things that we're responding with is a dedicated website for the individual users to be able to access our system and determine if in fact they've been exposed to radiation.
So they can just access that directly?
That's right. We sit in the middle of Silicon Valley, so we've access to some of the really, really good programmers. It's got a very robust site that will enable people very easily to check their exposure to radiation.
It really seems that Radiation Detection Company, or RDC, is providing some real solutions to overexposure to radiation in the workplace and in the world at large. So thank you so much for introducing us to your services, Barry.
Thank you for having me.